are going to read Isaiah 29. Look at what God can use. That we may be sure that He is able to help us. God has tools. Isaiah 29. Verse 5 and 6. These were just results. That were an answer to what this man needed from God. Yana Yogi had spoken many things. I have enemies in town. I have enemies in the village. I have enemies even at workplace. I have enemies even in my house. Community. So, that's God told him. Verse 5. Isaiah 29 verse 5. But the multitude of the poor shall be like fine dust, and in the multitude of tyrants like frying chaff. And in an instant, suddenly, you will be visited by the Lord of hosts, with thunder, all the tools, so you say, are you hearing the tools you are calling upon? God to use. You will be visited by the Lord of hosts with thunder and earthquake, great noise, with whirlwind, and a flame of devouring fire with tempest. Then you know that save one person. A call made by one person to be saved. Thunder, whirlwind. All this, where God is looking at you as His son, He can use anything for you to stand again. The first promise says, they have things they use. When they are fooling us, they have things they use. They found their things and just as that. So God knows their language. This is what He says. But the multitude of your foes shall be like fine dust. Meaning, Baha of Temu, it will become like dust. This is the protection I want you to look at. Not what Moses will tell you. Not what I will speak. But what God has decided to you. That are written in the Bible. That you may refer to them as an answer to those who call upon God. So, if we say at any cost, He will come suddenly. He will not wait for the rain to come again, for thunder to come. No. He will not wait for the sun or the rainy season to disappear for Him to come with fire. No. At any time He wants to send something, He just sends it without looking at what is happening. When God is sending His power, He doesn't say, but this is not the season. But this is not the season for the fire to burn, because to burn the grass, because the whole grass is green. No. When God sent fire, what was green today, by morning it will be withered. This is what Jonah complained about. When he was in great distress, Jonah was a good man. A good man. Jonah was a good man. Poor boy. So Jonah was angry at the Spirit of God. Knowing that people will ask him a question. You said your God can protect. You said your God can do this. You said your God can stand. But a situation came where he thought, this God now has left me. Let me look for a way. I am happy that you did not look for a way to take you to God. Never look for a way that can take you to God. Don't look for it. Never. The reason I'm happy, because people, when they get a small distress, they look at going to God as an answer. No, it's never an answer. Never go when he has not called you to him. You will miss him. And people miss you on the way. So, Jonah looked at what he can do, started to wonder. Let me just go. Let me just go. He did not know where he's going. When he got tired, he sat down. Whether it was a shady tree or a green grass. Then God brought a cloud as a protection. His son. God can protect his son up to the end. Even when you are in an error, God can protect you. Whether he was tired just and said it sleep, but God sent a hand in a crowd. These are promises every son of God carries when he is in danger. That the hand of God is always upon you. So, Jonah, the hand brought a crowd, covered him, and looked at the grass, the shrub, it became good. Why? God's spirit went from that place. He felt home again. Then God knew that once his spirit is back, he can be guided. Once your spirit is back in the protection of God, then the guidance of God becomes relevant. But when the Spirit of God is moving, search for you where your rest is. When you are still on the way, when you are still being moved by every wind, you see and you think it's God. He waits for you until you rest, and he comes to bring you comfort. Let me read Jonah. When he was angry, Jonah 4. Verse 5 and 6. Then Jonah went out of the city and sat down east of the city and made a booth for himself there. He sat under it in the shade, waiting to see what would become of the city. He was still waiting. The way you said, let me just go and wait and see what can happen. So this man has pulled down is what was happening. He said, let me just wait. So, the Lord God appointed a bush and made it come upon over Jonah. These are not miracles. These are not miracles. Meaning there were trees. And Jonah could get one of the trees and sit over it. And God brought his spirit to embrace him. Just cover him. You cannot tell a drunkard to sleep over that tree when he knows that in the bar there is no sunshine and he aroused. No. He will say, no, I know where people are drinking their shade. But this was an isolation that God had made, that when he is moving, he remember that I am still his father. And he sits down to ask me a question. God answered questions. To those whom he knows are coming back to stand for him in a power. So, verse 16. The Lord God appointed a bush and made it come over Jonah to give shade over his head, to save him from his comfort. The problem was, he was not comfortable to what is happening. No rich man could have told him a comfort that is under the tree. No. He needed God, who knows the direction where he can put a comforter. God comforts people in many ways. He can raise a sower of comfort. And when you go to your friend, even one day, you come back into your senses. She is a sower of comfort. Just by sitting in his house, you rest one day and your senses comes back to you. It's a comfort place. It's a place where you should not even forget. So Jonah was very happy about the bush. Jonah was not happy because he felt at home again because of the Spirit of God had sent in that bush. But so that if God can use this bush to comfort me, I'm still relevant. He knew I am still relevant in society. So God works upon his people, looking at how relevant they are in society. If you are no longer relevant, he leaves you to go to the villages where even no network of that good phone. Where there are no networks of those good phones. So, but this was not forever. Meaning, the comfort you can get from a friend is not everlasting than the comfort God can decide to establish in your life. When God gives you a husband or a wife, he knows that he has covered the road than what you can get from other places. Not because the comfort in other places are not there, but because these things vary in size, or in weight, or in glory. You can go to a hotel and eat good food. But when you cook at home and you eat with your children, you become happy than what you ate even in a hotel. But because the other one you ate when people have rebirth, you look at it as a good food at that time. But when you are eating with your children, you will see again the joy in the home. Genesis. Let me see how this my brother was comforted. 24. Genesis 24, 66 to 67. And the servant told Isaac all the things that he had done. This was the servant Abraham had used it to go and search for Rebekah, a wife to Isaac, from where God had sent him. Isaac was at home, not knowing that there are people praying for him. The father of Isaac, when he was telling his servant that swear upon my son, Isaac was playing football, was not even at home when they are preparing for him a wife. The man agreed, made a covenant, made a swearing with Abraham, went and searched for a wife to his master's son. If fathers can love their earthly children to this far. But I don't want my son to be destroyed by women of this land. Go back at our land and pick for him a wife who will stand for him forever. The man had prayer that if they see my beard and say, maybe he looks like me, he never took even a photo of Isaac. No. When he was going to look for Rebekah, that servant couldn't go. Abraham couldn't risk giving this servant even a photo of his son. But the servant reached, searched, and found Rebekah as worthy his own. So verse 67 says what? When he had explained these things to Isaac, this is not now further explaining to Isaac what agreement or arrangement his father made with the son. He sent the same messenger, the servant of Abraham, talked to the son that this visitor who has come in my house today, listen to the secret. It was the servant who told the family of Abraham that took the message that this woman you see in our home has been brought to, not from here or from where, but from where your father was born. If you greet him as your wife. So this is now It's rough. He could not believe it. And it took the explanation of the servant who brought the wife, or the woman, or the girl by then, in the home, to explain details how it started. That I had gone to look for you a wife, as an evidence that he did not touch that wife. But today people can say, go, I will bring. They break that sharing, and calamity falls in family. On the way, we shall come back. So verse 7 says, then Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent. He took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. So Isaac was comforted by what the wife, his father, brought. Some women are comforters in the home. Though we don't know it, we cannot know. When you are just stories of comfort of the husband, you can't know what you have until it goes away. Never allow it. So this Rebekah became a comforter of Isaac when had this Sarah, the mother, died. When Isaac had no wife, you couldn't tell him go pray again. When Abraham is there, all as he looks, and Sarah disappears, and you tell Isaac, no, since your mom has gone, start praying earnestly. He was not going to listen to it. That's what he had already arranged. But bring him a comforter who will not allow him to mourn as if Abraham is not aware of this death of his wife Sarah. Meaning, Abraham was already informed, and God put away that I will not do it when Isaac is 7 years, or 10 years, or 12 years. But when he has acquired a comforter, Abraham thought he would send the Holy Spirit. Abraham, when they said, when Isaac gets a comforter in the spirit, in his operation room, in his secret place, he said, this man will be anointed that day to appear like God. This was what was in the mind of Isaac, or of Abraham, that time. But when time went, he had forgotten how God will comfort this son. He had forgotten, but God never forgot. Brought Rebekah as a comforter in the home. The mom disappeared. To please a man that you are good, who has no parents, it's not easy. When they pick you from a good family to come and become a comforter of a man who never got parental love from his parents, is not a job. You need always the power of God, who is our Father, who is our Maker, who is our Controller in every side. This just see it as a task you must achieve, not a punishment in your life. Let's just see it as a task you must carry, as a comforter. Even when Abraham went, Isaac never chased away Rebecca because they had taken it wrong without producing even children. It took them 20 years to stand for the result Abraham was fighting for. 20 years. When your father is a prophet, the son is a sacrifice saved by God and given a good wife from heaven by revelation, but it took them 20 years. Meaning, even Isaac had to go through a training of how to have children more than other people. When you get a child, when you have spent 20 years, you cannot call him this thing. After 20 years, you get 2 children, even at once. Even if they are 4. When you had taken 20 years with your wife not producing, you will never raise a hand, slap them, or cut them using your hand. So, sons of God go through a road to achieve an answer people are looking for from God. They are stewards of what people need in their lives. For God to make you his steward. For God to make you his steward. Many things happen in your life. But once you see how God is building a steward to be bigger, and you think it is an error, or you think God has left you, then the wind makes that store and look for another store to carry that cup. A reason we speak this word so that people may know that they are stewards of other people. They are stewards of other people. God told me today that once you see a prophet, know that he's just a sower of God. He has nothing to do with what is in the sower. I hope this is the word you have heard. Prophet, mere steward of God. Meaning once you meet a prophet, you may think you are just talking to him, the stories at home. When God is just pouring what you lack in your heart, what you lack in your home, what you desire from God, is transmitting it to you just by seeing him on his face. Then it will just take now the voice. God will allow speak wisdom upon you that you may stand for his word. The word was, it is not you who is looking for a comforter, you are the comforter of your husband. Meaning Moses is just going to send you back as a comforter. You have struggled the road. Don't allow at the time of harvesting other people to harvest. No. It will never come to pass. These are things which will never come to pass in life. These are permanent things which will never come to pass. After all you go through, you surrender this good family known by God to a funny drunkard woman, it will never come to pass. It will never come to pass. So, this, I shall come back. I don't want to add it. So Isaiah had good disciples. He had a good son, Isaiah, but chapter 8. Isaiah had good children and decided to make them his disciples. He made them priests of the Lord. Verse 1, 8:1 of Isaiah. Then the Lord said to me, take a red tablet and write on it in common characters belonging to Mahesharar Hashbaz. Verse 2. And have it attested for me by reliable witnesses, the priest Uriah and Zacharias son of Jerebbah. These are good names. So, God's name are power. See? One name having 4 names. Mahed, Sharar, Baz. It was not a small name. It was a name released from heaven by revelation. Isaiah knew. So he said in verse 16 and 17, 16 to 18, bind up the testimony, seal the teachings among my disciples. I will wait for the Lord who is hiding his face from the house of Jacob, and I will hope in him. See, I and the children whom the Lord has given me are signs. Children of Isaiah become to him as a sign that God dwells in them. Are signs and portents in Israel from the Lord of hosts who dwells on Mount Zion. So he looked at what God had given them as an answer that we cannot break this home, looking at what God has given us first before this confusion came in. They had confusion everywhere. So these things, my daughter, are happening everywhere. You are not the first, neither will you be the last. Pass through them. But once you know who you are, and what task you are carrying in that home, you will not allow it to be destroyed by any wind. You will also call upon the same wind they are using. If they are using a whisper wind, if they are using wind of Rugambo, rumor mongering, then you call upon the mighty wind, the whirlwind that can sweep away every rumor and keep it where people cannot go. When they are using fire from the hill, You call upon God who created the hill, that level, every hill that is behind the destruction of my heart. You own that prayer. You don't allow it to be owned by them. You own that prayer. You say, I comfort them, but I must dwell in their hearts. Father, open the heart of this man again. Open the heart of this man again. That the comforter you sent to him may dwell again in power as an answer, not as a friend sent in a home. No. Rebecca had visited many homes, but to this home of Isaac, he came as a comforter, not merely as a visitor in their clan member. You are at home, not as a visitor, but as a comforter. My daughter, this you cannot convince God that you can do it. No. To leave this home, you cannot. There is no good word you can tell God that I am worthy living it. Just always ask Him to remove this other hand that are coming to destroy your power in that home. Only the hand. This is not their body. The body is you. These are parts coming to confuse your body. Don't allow it. Don't allow it. I'm going